those insights. Moving on. Following the death of Pope, the Vatican will enter a 9-day mourning period known as the Novendial, an ancient Roman tradition that continues to this day. During this period, preparation will begin for the election of the next pontiff, and after the mourning period, the cardinals will be called into conclave to elect the next vicar of Christ. Among the 135 cardinals currently eligible to vote in the papal conclave, 4 are from India. These include Cardinal Philippe, Cardinal Basilius, Cardinal Anthony and Cardinal George Jacob. So meanwhile, viewers, before we get into that, let's take a look at exactly those 4 Indians when we are talking about the cardinals that I was speaking about. And obviously this comes after a very tragic incident that took place, that Pope Francis has passed away at the age of 88. So the seat now is empty, and the next course of action is obviously who is going to be the next Pope, who is going to be the front runner. But before that, I'd like to talk about the 4 Indians. So the 4 Indian cardinals eligible to vote. First of all, this is Cardinal Philippe Neri Ferrero, and he's the President Federation of Asian Bishop Conference, which is called FABC. So he is one of the people who is eligible to vote, one of the 4 Indians that are eligible to vote. Meanwhile, the second person, if you take a look, that's Cardinal Basilius Klimis, President Synod of the Syro-Malankara Church, also the first Syro-Malankara Cardinal. So that's the second Indian cardinal that is eligible to vote because now the Holy Seat is empty. The next person is Cardinal Anthony Pula. He's the first Dalit cardinal in the history, an Archbishop of Hyderabad. So that's Cardinal Anthony. He's also eligible to vote, and that's Cardinal George Kuvakar. He's organized Pope Francis' international travel since 2020. So obviously these are the 4 people when we're talking about who are eligible to vote. Or when we're talking about after Pope Francis, who will be next Pope, who will be the front runner for the post of Pope. It's a long process. A lot of protocols are followed, and there's a procedure where we talk about the black smoke and the white smoke, which decides if the Pope has been decided or not. We have with us Aditya Vadhavan joining us on the telecast. Aditya, when we are talking about, as I have earlier mentioned, there are 4 cardinals, Indian cardinals, that are eligible to vote, and the next course of action, obviously, after following the death of Pope Francis, is there's a 9-day mourning period, but after that, there's the big question that lies ahead: is what next?
Well, absolutely, Ria. As you see, there will be a successor of the Pope Francis. It is a long down process. As you rightly pointed out, there are 4 candidates for this Pope. It will be seen, it will be very crucial as to who becomes the successor of Pope Francis, because at this juncture, all eyes are on this issue, because, the death of Pope Francis has already caused a problem, caused a huge gap in the Roman Catholic Church, which is situated in the Vatican City. Now, it will be very because all the world leaders are at this moment are also showing their last respects and tributes to Pope Francis. Now, it will be very interesting to see who becomes the next Pope, who will be the successor of Pope Francis. Because they have a considerable considerable influence on particularly if we talk about the Catholic Christians around the world, and even the Protestants are also closely follow what happens in the Roman Catholic Church. So now it needs to be seen who becomes the next successor. Yes, Ria.
All right, Aditya, thank you so much for joining us on the